Well, hello, we are live.
I thought you were going to change screens, and I was just chowing down.
You are definitely chowing down. My gosh. Did you eat lunch today?
I'll skip a meal.
We're just making sure that everybody is can hear us good. Let's pull the comments up real quick. We're also live on Bama Blues. Oh, there's show comments regular, tall. Maybe we don't show
Sean,
them all.
I'm eating a Reese's Take 5. Probably one of my top 5 favorites.
So, without further ado, we're bringing in the one and the only. We should have Tom on almost regularly, honestly, but the one and only Mr. Tom Stoles.
Hello, everyone.
Tom, can you hear us?
I got you. I was trying to connect my YouTube so I could chat in here. So
Audio is good from the YouTube. Alex, where are the Alex? Those are fire. Those are. I will have
Oh, that's the last one. And you're sick. You could have ate the rest of that one. I have 2 packed in.
What's up, Jeff? It's a loaded tea kind of night.
guess what I've got?
What do you got, Tom?
Diet
Mountain Dew?
Yeah.
Diet Mountain Dew. All right, so. What in the world
Where are you
did I
going?
do? I don't know. Okay.
Yeah, jambalaya.
What's up, Robert? So we just wrapped up our first event of the year in Decatur, Alabama. And what do you think, Tom, overall? Give us what's your thoughts of it, of the event?
I enjoyed Decatur, and overall the event went great. I think the only thing that not really a letdown, but I expected some bigger fish to be brought in. So that would be it. The event went smooth. Everyone did really good in the morning, getting their boats in, and
You're about to get stabbed on a live podcast.
very good.
Big Bite wants to know what you got for your birthday.
A trip to Decatur, Alabama.
Yes. Apparently I got a trip to Decatur. Yes. I'm trying to think what else I got. If I got anything. I got some cards. I think I've got some Rip and Lips rods somewhere in the trailer, maybe.
Yeah, they're still, yeah.
Yeah. We got up and left early on Sunday. Who's got
the
this
full screen? I think you gotta turn it sideways. We're working on the YouTube stuff.
Yeah, there's 2 YouTube videos. There's one for vertical video and one for horizontal. So if you would go to the YouTube channel, you should find both.
So I seen a couple people say, tournament the week prior didn't help. Bite was tough for bigger fish. I guess, going back and doing this now for 12 years, I've learned a lot of things, or I think that I've learned a lot of things. But, Wheeler, I even kind of didn't, I was kind of putting Wheeler down as not the fishery that it used to be for a lot of years. And, going to Norco and Venice and Morgan City and all that and catching a lot of fish. But, Wheeler is still, in my opinion, and now this year it was a Wheeler only tournament. It wasn't Wilson, it wasn't Guntersville, it was Wheeler only. And 10th place Bama Blues house. What's up? Last year, every year Bama Blues happens, there's a tournament the weekend before, and they caught some decent fish. But I think sometimes we get caught up in, there was a tournament last weekend, the bite was good. You can notice from day to day how much the fishing can change in a tournament. We've seen that in 2-day tournaments. We've seen that pre-fishing. I know Jason Hamilton went out the next day after we left and caught a giant, probably in the 80s or so. We did weigh a lot of fish in the 60s. And how many places do you go and really truly do that? I mean, how many we weigh in the 60s?
36. I took notes.
36 boat in the 60-pound fish.
Yep, 60 or above. Or I'm sorry, that's the wrong one. That was what total weight.
I would say I think there was a lot of total
Uh,
weights over 66.
Right, 8 fish over 60.
Yeah, big fish over 60. There was 8 boats, so there were 8 fish over 60 pounds. There were 14 boats had fish over 50 pounds. That's incredible.
For an actual fish over 50
Yes.
pounds.
And 24 boats had a fish over 40 pounds. So that
Those
means
are all good fish.
that's some really good weight. And then you take the top, and again, it wasn't a massive total weight, but again, this is only a 3 fish limit, 2 overs, 1 under.
And 11
My gosh.
boats in the hundreds in total weight.
11 boats over 100 pounds to get, 15th place had 88 pounds.
Sean, 54 boats weighed in, but a lot of boats threw back still.
Yeah. So yeah, 44th place, Jeff Helm had 48 pounds. Devin Little got 46 with 41 pounds. So I think the fishing itself was good. 54 boats weighed. I seen somebody made a comment today that I don't know, maybe I dreamed this, that the weigh-in was a little slow, and the weigh-in was extremely fast. I don't know.
We couldn't have sped that up anyway.
That weigh-in was the best in 12 years, probably the best weigh-in that I've ever seen or been a part of, I would say.
Even cut down, I would say, half the time last year. So this year, I text you when
You did.
we always take notes, and it might be some weird notes. A lot of Alex
one
and
thing
I's
that-
texts
yeah.
are just numbers.
So I think at the Sea Arc Invitational, we're going to go from 5 to 3 fish like we do with this. But the weigh-in was
I understand though. I don't think that comment, it was from someone who was.
maybe they weren't in the event. I can't.
They
remember,
weren't in the event. Whoever did it. So imagine sitting there in the cold. It probably felt like it took a long time.
Yeah, and I think the big thing is Steve Henderson, Heather Massengale, Roy Harkness, and then my dad, because he was the only one that could drive a stick shift.
Great.
You know what I mean?
Grace truck.
Yeah. So I think that River Rat's seen that. Rusty, I saw that comment as well. I'm not a tournament fisherman though. So I think what we're trying to say is that, Bama Blues last year, a couple things happened. We had taken that event over. We didn't know what all we were, coming up, and the stage, we didn't have a stage. So not having a stage is a big deal. We didn't have the lights. We weren't prepared to weigh. Last year we weighed 64 boats.
Last year we had 62 or 64 boats, and we weren't done until like 8:30, 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
This year we were done at 6:42. I texted you.
Done weighing or done with everything? We're done with everything.
We were done with everything, and
That's
packing the
checks.
trailer is a big deal, and checks is always a big deal too.
So I guess the big thing is what we want to say is, people said, well, you weighed a lot more boats last year. No, we weighed 10 more boats. And honestly, the way that we did it, and if you've seen, Liz ran the computer, did some emceeing, and then me and Chris kind of did the weigh-in. Tom took pictures of the fish when they're pulling them out of the live well. You got to see it on live. But then they went in a bucket and they came straight to me and Chris, and we put in big fish. Now sometimes I was super fast, and I was putting in the second fish before Liz even got a big fish weight.
Yeah.
But with that being said, I think the big thing is that we got those fish weighed. Sometimes I'm kind of OCD about measuring every fish. So if I didn't measure beforehand because we wanted to get a weight, I would measure them as the teams came up and held the 2 fish for Tom. And then I would measure that 3rd fish, and we'd slit them. And then we had 2 guys right there to take them back to the water. So there's some things that we're going to change. We're going to try to get the Sea Arc slide to help but other than that, I mean, it was a very smooth process. The stage was awesome. We've dialed some things in. The lights were on point. The pictures turned out amazing. So again, and like we always talk, it's not a one person thing. It's not Alex. It's not Liz. It's not Tom. It's all of us kind of working together. You know, the live stream, I pretty much turned on. I put some mics on. Now I did mess up on the mics. I had them too hot.
So mine was a little too high because I like to yell. So that's what's wrong with the audio. I think Sean asked. They were just a little high.
But besides that, I think things were smooth. And then you know, Tom right there to take the picture. So Tom, I mean, as you remember, you're taking pictures of the guys that just got out of their boat. As you're taking a picture, their boat and truck is moving out of the way, and then the next truck and boat are coming through. So when they're done, they drop the fish, they walk off the stage, super smooth. And besides some audio stuff, you know, we don't have an audio crew or video crew that can really just sit on the truck and run that. But, you know, things were super smooth. I was super pumped. The food trucks were good. Anybody on here, did you eat the food trucks on Saturday or Friday? We'd like to get some feedback because they loved it. So they had fun. Thursday or Saturday.
Yeah. Crazy Cravens or Corn Dog Cravens or El Dorado.
Did you guys, did you or Shauna have any, Tom?
We didn't eat any. We heard the El Dorado was good.
I tried paying someone to go get me a to-go box over there, and no one listened to me. I was about to go jack a corn dog out of someone's hands in the bleachers. Is this your twin? Haley, she just got a haircut today. You show your haircut?
Fire Cordones, whatever that is.
Corn dogs.
Oh, corn dogs. Oh, they were good then? Lori, how were they then? How was everything?
I know Brandon liked El Dorado.
Is that Alex's twin? Tom or Roxy, Haley?
We'll move her comment.
Gotta be Roxy.
Yeah.
Sakoti said he ate it while he was weighing in line. Sakoti, what'd you think? What'd you eat?
I mean, that's why we put him there, so it was very easy for you guys to get to.
Nachos were good on Thursday night. Yeah, so we'll have to get them. Roxy, yeah, she's my twin. Richard said El Dorado.
So sounds pretty positive from that. It was kind of crazy getting the food trucks dialed in.
Yeah.
We had one, and then we had none, and then we were on the hunt. And then Saturday had two, which worked out really good.
So what was your favorite moment of the event, Tom?
I think the fireworks, thinking back on it. I know us working, we don't really get to watch them, but that moment, we knew it was coming. I don't know how many others knew it was about to happen. But, you know, kind of seeing other people watch those and smiles on their faces, that was cool.
Yeah.
It was cool to look back at everyone's videos that had like different, I don't know, where they were in different places looking at the fireworks.
You know, I think the big thing is, you know, we used to do the national anthem before every tournament because we always did like takeoff by boat number. So that obviously we can't do that. Oh, Doug, we can't do that now it's a lot different, but you know, as we're changing some things up, you know, doing the national anthem and then doing the fireworks, which was super awesome. And anybody that actually got to see the fireworks, the fact that the fact that we got Rhett out of bed, number one, was crazy. And then how he lit those fireworks at the absolute, we spent probably, I don't know, 30 minutes going over LeAnn Rimes' national anthem and trying to figure out, you know, what, like right when she says this, I'm going to shine the light at you and you got to light it. And that's knowing that maybe Rhett has issues with the lighter, and then he finally gets it. But it was like right when the bombs, and then just boom, it was like insane. So
we did our homework that night. We were up till like midnight.
Yes. But it was cool. So we're going to do that. We've already talked about it for the the next two events because they're big parking lots. Like the Alton Catfish Classic is going to be awesome because that's going to be a perfect setup to the national anthem and do some fireworks. Now, hopefully we don't get in trouble. I don't think Illinois they're not a fan of fireworks. And I think Alabama, we bought them in Alabama. They were like the stands were open, so
we brought some home, maybe.
Maybe. Shauna and I, when we were driving in, we saw all the stands open, and we were joking that we were going to buy some, and Shauna was going to go across the harbor when nobody else knew about it. We weren't even going to tell you all, and we never did stop and buy any. So, but that would have been funny.
It's crazy how many fireworks stands there are in Alabama.
Yes, there were a lot. And you'll pass some up in northern Missouri, I think. Well, you don't
Yeah,
come
no,
down
yeah.
61,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Yeah, so we're gonna try to implement some of that, and it's just little things like that I think that, we always talk about, it's the small things that you forget about, and we write down little things that, for next year, and we want criticism. I think people looked at us, Tom, I know you probably seen it too, and we talked about the boat parking spots in the morning, and I can get a little carried away on how I want things to be perfect. Overall, everybody did a really good job. There were a few boats that I think were messed up on, maybe they just parked in the wrong spot, but for the most part, it was perfect. And I was definitely stressed that 10-minute window, starting at 6 a.m., can we get 25 boats out of there? A lot more boats put in at Ingalls Harbor than I planned for, and I wasn't prepared for that. But we had Chris and Roy on the boat ramp helping untie. There were a few that didn't listen, and they weren't in the boat, so they were in the passenger seat. So then they get there, and then they got to get out of the passenger seat to get in the boat, or they didn't have it untied. But we were never behind on each group. So by 6:42,
yeah, I know
everybody was
people
gone.
from group 1 and 2 asking like, hey, our group went good. How did group 3 and 4 do? Because I think they're wanting to know if it's going to work out for future. And yeah, every group left on time. One group had to hunt down one boat. Joe Crawford pulled in his exact spot right on time.
Yeah, no, it was crazy. Like I said, it worked so good. So we will plan on doing the same thing. Randy said, how long did it take to get every boat unloaded Saturday morning? So literally, now when we say 6:42 a.m., the reason that it was, so that's at from 6 to 6:10, boats 1 through 25 go. By 6:08, they were gone. That was boats in the water, back parked. So 6:10, we started the next group. By 6:20, by 6:18, they were done. So when we got to the 75 through 100, the problem was they're outside of their boats. They're in no hurry. They're eating breakfast. So that was that 6:42. If everybody would have been ready and not in a hurry and not in a hurry, then it would have been 6:38. So that worked really, really good.
We had live well checks on groups 1 and 2 done before 6 o'clock, and 3 and 4 were getting done by your dad during that time.
So we had my dad and Roy. So sometimes, again, there's people sleeping in trucks. That's the only thing that, when we do live well checks, is if you can have your lid open in the morning, so we can go by and just note that. So if it's not open, then my dad has to step up on the back of your boat, or Roy or somebody has to step up and open it, and it just takes time, especially if there's rods and stuff and you got to move them around. So
it all went really good. But
yeah, super smooth, super excited. And here's a couple questions I'm going to get to really quick. I seen, yes, $103,000 payout, 103.5. Fireworks are very unexpected. We jumped a little, but it was really cool. Once I am back for good, I do plan to fish a few of your tournaments. That's awesome. We'd love to have you. Everything went great. You can't please everyone. I wonder what the people in the hotel, but fishing without going off. I was a little stressed about that, but it went good. Good job, everyone. Watch as much as I could of the live feed. Can't imagine how much work goes into such a big event.
What time did the sailboat leave the harbor? Did you all?
I
see
don't
that?
know. No, I what did he leave before the takeoff?
He was there, and then after everybody was gone, I looked and he was gone. And we had that at the SEARC tournament. There was a cruiser there last year, and I thought
And what else put in like a duck hunter, Tom, in the morning?
there were at least 2 or maybe 3 duck hunter boats.
Or the
One was
kayak.
just a kayak, yeah. So
Or the trolling motor.
Yeah. Decatur local here, wanting to open a topic here, wanting to know is it a lot of work to get more tournaments more than just 2 to 3 times a year down here? Love seeing the action. So, when it comes to big events, I think right now you have the Bama Blues this time of year, and you got the SeaArk Hunters Invitational, which is the end of April. There's some other smaller events. I know that there's a guy working on an event here in a couple of weeks, and then Dry Creek did one that had 20 or 30 boats the weekend before. So I think the thing is, it's just, continue to keep growing it, getting more people involved, putting on a quality event that people can trust. But hopefully that more and more come for sure.
and Scott asked me a question. So all the pictures are available on the Twisted Cat Facebook page for every tournament I've ever done. You can go back. You should be able to find them.
Yeah,
If you want higher resolution pictures, you can always reach out to me. But send me a picture of yourself so I can try to find you. I've got every picture I've ever taken stashed still.
Yeah, here's the best way. If you're watching right now and you want to look, and if you want to know how to get pictures, the Facebook page is going to be your number one spot to go. But right up at the top where you see posts, subscriber, about, channels, mention, reviews, if you hit this more button and you go to the photos, and then you're going to have a couple options: your photos, photos of you, albums, and you click this albums.
And this is on a desktop.
And this is on a desktop, Scott, but this has everything.
It's a little different on the phone.
But if you can find that albums, you want to go back to how far you want to go back? We're going way back. So
the board.
Look at the board. So back in
There's Calvin.
Yeah, here's Calvin Meyer and Jim, May 2nd, 2015, Burlington, Iowa. So then here is the album that I took back then. Look at this guy right here. So
look at Ace.
Look at Buddy and Ace right here.
Oh my Lanta.
So
that's what I see whenever I see his name come up and I ask if he's youth. Oh my goodness.
There's Jim and Calvin. So this is the best way to find old photos. It's also a lot of them are going to have the results here. So it's pretty cool to go back to May 2nd, 2015. First place, 46 pounds. Second place, 40, 39, 34. So this is a really good thing to look back at and, just see all that.
That's back when we used to release the whole album and put all the stats in the comment. Now we give each place their time and stuff.
So hopefully you see that again. And here's September 21st, 2024, Scott, for Burlington. All these pictures. So there's an album on every single tournament. So hopefully that helps you. But yeah, and again, those pictures are so important. And it's cool to watch people grow. Like I said, with Ace, gosh, back in that was over 10 years ago. That's wild.
It's just a baby.
So Scott, does that answer your question? Thanks, Richard. We really appreciate that. Let's see. Thought the parking looked great. Let's talk about. So we've got Alton coming up. Registration. We're at 54 boats for Alton.
And it just happened Wednesday.
Yeah.
Tomorrow will be a week, and we're over halfway there.
There's another good question. So Ashley, let us show you again. We'll show everybody one more time real quick. Let's see if we can do this. All right, so Ashley's asking, will you be posting results of everybody that weighed in? So how we do that is we bring up, you go to twistedcatoutdoors.com, 2026 tournaments, Decatur, Alabama, and you scroll down. So obviously you've got all the rules here. Look at that parking right there. But then up here on top, the most important 3 boxes. Click here for registration, host hotel link, click here for live results. So you click there for live results. Obviously, I gotta show you what it doesn't show with the screen that it goes to. I'm going to show you now. Whoops. Stop screen, share screen. So you go there and then it brings this up, your live results. So you see this right here. Everybody's might be different, but it shows you the tournament stats, registered teams, anglers, fish, all that stuff. Obviously, it says 103 boats. That's because 3 boats were withdrawn, so there's 100 total boats. But you click the 3 bars here and just say 100, and then it'll show you everybody's results.
And that's for any tournament, even one that, like, say we were doing the weigh-in right now. As I enter them on stage on my computer, they get pushed through on that.
Same thing with big fish. You can see it, all the big fish that were weighed. So Ashley, hopefully that helps you on that. Not yet, Luke, not yet. What's up, Tammy? Gosh, the comments are coming in so fast, Tom.
Yeah, it's been hard to keep up.
So our next tournament is January 31st. It's in Garland, Texas. I think I posted this morning or yesterday that we had 11 boats, and I think now we're up to 16 or 17 boats. Again, one thing that you'll see this year is that, you know, I talked to Tom a lot about this too, is we're not going to be doing registration in the mornings anymore. Registration will quit at 9 o'clock Friday night. So if you don't come to the captain's meeting and you want to be a part of it, you got to register online. Once we shut the registration online, it does not, for writing checks and everything is done Friday night. But boat number will matter at a lot of these, probably most of these tournaments. You know, Garland, we're going to have parking just like we did in Decatur and in how we'll do Alton. And like I said, Alton is already at 54 boats. So the first 2 flights are already full. We're working on the 3rd flight. And again, all 100% payouts this year. So the dates, we did lock in Perryville, Missouri for August 29th. We haven't announced it officially, but it's locked in for August 29th. We're waiting on Fort Madison. Huh?
Got to get my notes open here.
Get some notes open.
I'll bother my boss tomorrow. He'll be like, "That's 8 months out. Why are you putting in?"
Yeah. Other than that, we're just kind of we're looking at Kalen doing something in Pekin for cast and relief. So we're working on a date for that. Fort Madison has always been that first weekend of May, which is Sunday, May 3rd. The only thing is we're just trying to get it off of the Sea Arc Owners Invitational. So that's the weekend before in Alabama. And it's just hard for the crew to go back and forth and just keep moving. So our plan is, well, the next weekend is Mother's Day weekend, the 9th and 10th. The next weekend, the 16th and 17th, they have some kind of bass tournament that I'm trying to work through. And then the next weekend is Memorial Weekend. So, and then the next weekend's Fishing for Freedom. So we're just trying to figure out where to put Fort Madison where it doesn't hurt, a bunch of other things.
Whole script, that makes me laugh.
1.3 pounds away from 10th. Alex, you called it on stage. Bait fish. That was threw up. There was actually 2 of them in there. You did need that weight, Justin. Yeah, I don't know yet. I hope so. That's our goal. August 29th will be Perryville, Missouri. Just right up from Cape. Beautiful town.
So is that the weekend before Labor Day then?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Burlington's going to be on the schedule. We got to get a date for that. Savannah, Tennessee, New Madrid, Missouri. But we've dropped quite a few events. We dropped the Alton Spring event and made that now the Classic. We've dropped Fort Smith, Arkansas. We've dropped Pekin, Illinois. So we're still trying to fit everything in that makes sense to still have a good season and the championship to confirm a couple things on it. And again, we never want you to be waiting like, oh, when is the date? It's like a lot of things behind the scenes that, we're waiting on the New Madrid Fall Festival, Savannah, Tennessee, like when their dates are going to be. They're trying to rush some meetings to get us dates. Once we get a few of those, we can lock in. But, the biggest one is to try to get the May date out for Fort Madison, but I just don't know.
When it makes sense.
Yeah, I
Okay,
don't want it
makes
to be
sense.
the week after the CRC Invitational because that doesn't let us even breathe. And then the weekend after that, do you have it on Sunday on Mother's Day?
Do I have a Sunday on Mother's Day?
Should we have it on Mother's Day?
I don't care.
I know you don't care.
That's.
What do y'all think
All the
watching?
mothers don't fish and run tournaments, so they might like the daddies to be home with them. I don't know.
So then the next weekend is the 16th and 17th, so it'll be the 17th. But the problem is they have some kind of bass tournament that Sunday, May 17th. I've got to figure that out. And we don't want to do it on Memorial Weekend because then again, Memorial Weekend is the weekend before Fishing for Freedom. So again, it just,
Somewhere we have
our goal is the middle of May, but can we make that happen with that bass event? What's up, Chris? February 28th after the expo. There'll be a tournament on Ray Roberts. I could go play that. Jack and Jill on Mother's Day.
That would be interesting.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know that you would get a lot of.
Like I said, it just depends on, I don't know, how many of the wives can the guys bring out? I know Lori would do it.
Unless we move Fort
I know
Madison
Cindy
to a
would do it.
Saturday tournament, but I just really enjoy that. Sunday is just a good,
Yeah.
it just always works so well on Sunday. What do y'all think about Fort Madison? Again, we have such good. What do we have? 60 boats last year.
62, 60.
I know a lot of people like it on Sunday. Maybe we do it on Saturday, that
Mama's
Mother's
gonna
Day
get up.
weekend.
Mama's gonna get up. Oh, okay.
So that's something to think about.
Get up.
Again, I think even whether it's on Saturday or Sunday, I think, people traveling in Saturday, it still makes it, if we're traveling from Texas back to get, back home for Mother's Day.
I gotta get rent.
Oh, okay. I think most of the names would prefer Saturday. Joseph, there's a lot of other reasons why we do that on Sunday, but 16th is Iowa State graduation. So yeah, maybe we shoot for that Saturday the 9th. And that gives us a little bit of time off from the CRC Owners Invitational, and then some time
Maybe.
between that and Fishing for Freedom.
Yeah. Maybe Mike can get the day off. Take Saturday off that weekend.
Yeah, he is super swamped. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, Mike is behind a lot of this, the success of Twisted Cat. So, I got to definitely run that by Mike. What do you think, Tom? What,
Go
I
ahead.
think that Saturday.
I enjoy Sunday up there just because the big reason is Mike with Dave's Marine being able to fish it. Then he does, he's available, and I know what he's meant to Twist the Cat over the years. And really enjoy seeing him and his family fish. So,
Yeah.
and to me,
Yeah.
it doesn't really matter. If we have it on Saturday, I'm taking off work Friday. If we have it on Sunday, I usually don't take off Monday. I usually bolt home after the tournament. But and usually you don't get your pictures till Monday afternoon then.
Richard, not yet. I mean, so again, everything that when we get something really for sure, we put it on obviously the event side of Facebook on our Twisted Cat Outdoors, and then we also put it on the website. Speaking, for that, we're going to probably start putting a 2027 tab because I think that we're going to be doing the Bama Blues, that's an interesting subject, Tom.
Yes, it is.
Bama Blues this year will be Saturday, January 2nd, which will make the captain's meeting New Year's Eve, which I remember the last Bama Blues I fished. That's when the captain's meeting was on Friday. It was a New Year's Eve night. I think it was on Friday, maybe it was on Thursday, but it was fun. It was a really fun meeting. And I thought, Tom and I talked about it'd be cool to have a band and stuff. Just in case, though, you had to move it to a Friday, that would kind of kill it. But in Rogersville, Chris, was it on Thursday or Friday? Because you could make some fun of that, of having a captain's meeting New Year's Eve on the Thursday night. It was on a Friday.
Might get a little crazy.
But you could have a band and have a pretty cool setup, you know what I mean? And I think, I don't know what people think that are watching on here, but, June 1st to July 1st, I'll tell you in a second, 247 anglers get the chance to register. So do you think, Tom, that it'll sell out before July 1st? What's your thoughts? And with that, when I say that, let's say that Tom and I are partners and we fish this year. Well, next year, Tom wants to fish with Kirk Lucky or somebody else. That takes it from one boat to two boats. So do you think that we'll sell out before July 1st at 100 boats?
So my question is, what are you going to do if more than 100 boats from that group try to register? Because that's possible.
Well, once it hits 100, it's getting cut off.
Right. But with 200 plus anglers eligible to register,
they better register very fast. It's right. Whatever 100 boats register first.
I'm going to guess 70 or 80 teams will come back for sure.
I really, after the show, after the event, the pictures, everything, and how smooth things went, I think my goal is it'll sell out in the month of June. And then we'll create a 5-boat list. So once it sells out, then that means that nobody can sell their spot until they got to go through us, where let's say that boat 17, he got asked to be the best man at a wedding, and he'll have to say, okay, I'm going to sell my spot. And then that boat 101, whoever that may be, maybe it's, JT Ray wants to be it, and then JT Ray gets in line and he gets to take that spot.
Yeah, I'm that's going to be an interesting month to watch entries.
And then you do have a lot of this, bump it to 150, bump it to 120. I think here's my thoughts, and then Tom will get your thoughts. My thoughts are, 100 boats is a lot of boats. 100 boats on Wheeler Lake to me is about that perfect, you know what I mean, number. It keeps it really attainable at Ingalls. Everything went really smooth. You know, yes, going to 150 boats, the payout gets bigger, but I think we just keep continuing to drive, you know, that $100,000 payout and keep building that event to an event that people really want to be a part of. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and we see people ask for more slots to be opened up, and I don't know if everybody really understands what it takes to put that on. You know, Sea Arc does it with 150 to, I think they've had up to 200 boats before, but there was probably 3 or 4 times the amount of people helping the Sea Arc tournament than what we had this past weekend. And then just it wears the staff down too. You know, I got up at 4 on Saturday morning, and I think I went to bed right at 11. And I know you and Liz were up later because I got a text at I think at 11:30 from y'all. So it is a long day.
It is a long day. It is a lot of abuse on our bodies. I'll tell you what, I am still sore over that. Granted, I was sick last week, so that didn't really, you know, help. I mean, it made it rough.
Yeah, I was hurting Sunday on the drive home until I hit Cape Girardeau.
So a couple people I see are open it back up to. I guess why does this event need to be opened back up to Wilson and Guntersville at 100 boats? Open it to 150, raise entry again, and open it up, locking it on risk.
Yeah, I went out on the lake Saturday, and we went a couple miles past the power plant, and it wasn't like there were boats everywhere. I mean, there was a group at the power plant, and then a group. I don't know if there's a arm of the lake or a river or a creek that comes in. That's where we stopped up, you know, below the power plant, and there was probably 5 or 6 boats around there on the flats. But the power plant was obviously the most congested.
Yeah. Only downfall, yes. I mean, there's a good chance nobody new gets in, but like I said, it's tough. You know, you gotta, again, saying like Mike Mitchell. I mean, open it to 100 like that. That is easy to type. Open it to 150, raise entry again, and open it up, lock it. Like that's super easy to type, but to back that up is what's tough. You know what I mean? I think, you know, again, you know, Wheeler Lake getting hit hard. I mean, there's a lot of things that, you know, eliminating pre-fishing 72 hours before the event. There's some things like that that can be done. And Cindy, like what she says, it's a controversial because here's the issue. Even at $1,000 entry, a lot of people come down there, they want to win, but they also want to catch big fish. So that's tough. We already made a lot of changes going to 100 boats, $1,000 entry, Wheeler Lake only. You know, we did a lot of changes quick. What I would like to see is, you know, can you take Friday off the board and say Friday is no boats on the water? Or do you next year go Friday, no pre-fishing? So that means you can be out there scanning. Or do you say Thursday, Friday is no pre-fishing? So that's tough. I mean, doing that, you know, you take a guy that says, well, I can't get down there till Wednesday. Well, he gets there Wednesday night. That means he can't even fish on Thursday and Friday. But are we to a level where these anglers are good enough to say, I don't need to pre-fish Thursday, Friday? So I think that's something that we think about, you know what I mean? But then what happens, I guess, if Friday ends up being the tournament, then they can fish Thursday.
Right. Well, yeah, just let pre-fishing on Thursday and cut it off on Friday, and we can have a party in the pavilion.
You know, I mean, you could because right now you got to be off. I mean, you could take Friday completely off the water.
Yeah.
Mike, that's why Mike Mitchell don't run tournaments right here.
Another day of PTO for my real job.
Hey, I'm on my live, but I'll call you when I get done. All right, bye bye. That's why Mike Mitchell fishes tournaments. He does the fun part. 72 hours prior to the tournament, they can do all the fun fishing they want on Wilson or Guntersville or Pickwick. Plenty of opportunities for fun fishing if you lock down pre-fishing. 72 hours is a lot of hours. Doug, unfortunately, you won't probably ever get into Bama Blues again, but I don't know that you'd fish it in the first place.
Will we see Doug in Alton?
So, I don't know. And this is again makes it much harder for those of us traveling. Yeah, thank you, Jonathan. Now, Joseph, when you're saying that you need to get the lay of the land, are you putting bait in the water on Friday and Thursday? I agree with Chad. I mean, we did more changes this year than we've ever done. Actually, Twisted Cat in general has made more changes this year than we've ever done. And Bama Blues took some big changes. You know, going from 300 to 1,000, that really ruffled feathers. 100 boat cap, you know. And I want you to understand that the 100 boat cap is not because we don't want 150 boats. It's to have things make sense. You know what I mean? I was scared to death to go to 1,000. Tom, we talked about it 100 times. Do we do it? What happens if we do 700 or 500 or 750?
Yeah. I think I said 750 when you brought it up. It scared me when you said 1,000. It turned out great. It turned out awesome.
So I don't know. I think that things worked really, really well this year, and maybe next year it's something that we look at, you know. I might start fishing in and quit working so much. Yeah, whatever, Doug. That tournament has been going strong so long, it can be whatever you want it to be. As long as you run it right, they will come. So when you do you not think 100 boat tournament at $1,000 entry is running it right, Mike? And you know what, Tom? Maybe this event becomes an event that somebody else branches off and does another tournament. You know, maybe they have a big tournament in the fall there. 100 boat tournament.
Right. Or 150 and raise the entry fee.
Yeah. Mike, I mean, you got a lot of following. I mean, maybe it's something that you do a Mike Mitchell extravaganza in the fall.
If I'm available, Mike, call me. I'll come take pictures.
We're not. It's not that we're stopping growing it. It's, you know what I mean? When you take it from 100 to 125, that takes the amount of people that help run that event. You know what I mean? That's a big, big deal.
How many people did we have helping outside of the normal group of, you had Steve Henderson. Dude, I don't even know everybody.
We actually have a picture.
We got the picture. Yeah, I don't even know everybody's name. That's.
Well, we didn't even have this isn't even everybody in it, actually. A lot of good pictures in here.
See,
it was right before the wedding picture, right?
that should have been early on. That was before we started weighing in. But I don't know where I put it. I don't know which folder I put it in. I could look real quick. I was looking at pictures from 2022 today.
2022.
Yeah, I went back looking at the first picture.
Okay,
It was the very first picture on the weigh-in folder.
So just to give you an idea of the more people you have, the more people you need. Hey, I'm on my live. Can I call you back shortly after? All right, bye. So right here, just to kind of show you, that's a lot of people. I mean, that's people from all over the country here. You know what I mean? You've got Heather Massengale, Roy, John Ed, Liz, and I. I mean, that's a big crew of people right there to make this event happen, to make it successful. It's a lot. And I think, you know, continuing to make that a great event, you know, and what John says here, do 100 boats at 1,000, then allow 10 extra slots at 1,500, but put money towards the big fish. Or going, that's not a bad idea. I mean, I'm not against. I mean, is it weird to do, like, you know, we got 100 boats, but then we allow 5 extra boats to get in at 1,500, and then maybe that extra, you know, that extra money goes to something different, or
maybe the extra 500 goes to big fish or something. And do it
So,
in
I
a
don't know.
lottery. How about a lottery for those extra spots?
Yeah, that 500 could help pay for, you know, because there is a lot of, that's way, and I think people sometimes don't understand that when you look at a lot of these big tournaments, you never really look at, okay, the mega bucks or whatever that is. I mean, do some people really look at, you know, what is the payout? Is it 100%? Should it be 100%? Is it 80%? Like, what happens if there's 86 boats at this tournament? What does that mean? You know what I mean? So if there's 86 boats at Bama Blues, that's $86,000. So, Todd Green, I'm not even going to talk to you anymore. I'm going to block you. We do not need a night tournament. Maybe you do. And Todd,
he can run it.
I would support you however I can. If I can fish it, I'll be there. I do think big fish should have paid more attention to. I do think big fish should have paid more. So on big fish, you know, that's a tough thing too. So you take big fish, they got $1,000, which right now the entry fee is 100% paid out. Big fish is a sponsored ad, and then we did, which is pretty cool. I'm surprised not more people got into it. $100 a boat for an optional side pot, and that gets you. I mean, that would be up to 10 grand. So we could have got that in there earlier. That could have been some different things. So a lot of great ideas. Extra 500 can go to youth anglers. You know what I mean? Yeah. There's a lot of really good ideas. Do something for the underdogs.
And we always get a good picture of you, Greg. You always show up for the camera.
So if Sakoti and Matt would have got into the side pot, they would have made another $2,000, and they were going to, but they never got the money to us. So there's a lot of things you can do, a lot of great ideas. It's just implementing them, making them happen. So yeah, we got a lot to think about. We for sure do know that June 1st to July 1st is going to be that registration. That's for sure. Small fish money. Matt literally messaged me that he was going to get in and he never finished. That I don't know that can happen, but I do like that. We might do a Calcutta next year. I think we should do a Calcutta too next year.
remember me messaging like getting a hold of DraftKings or something, Alex? I'm sure we're not big enough for anything like that, but that would be fun.
That would be super fun. So again, and I think that people are starting to understand, that every little one thing that goes into this, requires money, time, support. Just like Andrew Justice said, do 2 tournaments a year. We're dropping tournaments, but I love the idea. And I think it's, again, if people think, maybe we do one in Guntersville in 2027. I don't know. 2 days, in my opinion, on that event, no.
Wow. That would be rough.
Yeah. Exactly. Right there. And just like, the thing is, and for us, the expense of an event, I mean, you take just hotels, now that we have to practically show up on Wednesday night, we're there Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, leave Sunday. So we're there 4 nights. And then how many hotel rooms per person per team? Things like that add up, off of work, away from home, things like that. But all these are great ideas. Mike Mitchell, I hope you have $150,000 or a $1,500 150 boat tournament, and it's 2 days. And I will fish it, I promise you. If you do a $1,500 tournament, 2-day tournament, count me in. And I would like to go to Guntersville. So a lot of great comments, Tom. What do you think?
A lot of ideas being thrown about. And if someone's doing a 2-day tournament, I like the idea of the 2 different lakes. That's
I just right now, Sakoti, I am claiming Sakoti and Mike Mitchell in the future will be doing a 3-day tournament, 1 day on Wheeler, day 2 on Wilson. I absolutely love it.
I think before the end of the live, Mike Mitchell's going to be up to a 7-day tournament.
When you have a on the water weigh-in like you've had, it's way easier to keep the fish fresh during the time to wait for your turn for weigh-in. Otherwise, the fact is weigh-in takes a lot of time. More boats, more time out of the water, harder to keep fish live, even for big live well boats. Just saying. I like to stay on the water weigh-in, but not for everywhere. Works well. Exactly. And Scott, I think of something I wanted to, actually, I'd seen you made a comment. So Scott had talked about a comment. He had fished a Burlington, Iowa tournament. So in Burlington, you just got to be back by a certain time. I think it was 3:30. And I tried to explain at the captain's meeting that the most important thing is once you're back, you're good. My dad's down there. Everything is good. There's a nice dock. We only want about 10 boats out of the water because I want you in the water with refreshing. It's September. It's not bad, but just keep refreshing water. Because I can look in a live well now. I've learned pretty good that I can look in a live well and see what that water has been throughout the day. Has it been refreshed? Has it been the same water since the morning? Is there enough water in there? And what we found out is that Burlington tournament, there were a couple of boats that they didn't do a good job as an angler keeping those fish healthy. But everybody was in such a big hurry to get their boat pulled out of the water and sit in that weigh-in line. So I thought, well, we're going to Keystone Lake, Oklahoma. We're doing a weigh-in on the water. The live well's got to be better, right, Tom? They gotta be.
It should have been.
They're literally they're in the water, right? Just like Scott said, they're in the water. They've got to be better than on a trailer. What I found out is they weren't. So the problem is, we have got to get better as anglers taking care of your fish. So what that means is when you're out there, be recirculating that water. There is zero reason you should have a bad live well when I'm weighing you on the dock. And if 60% of the boats during a weigh-in, I have fished Memphis now every year. Most of my weigh-ins, I've drove an hour and 20 minutes. The longest was a 3-hour and 10-minute drive one way. So I drove 3 hours and 10 minutes one way, waited in the weigh-in line for probably 45 minutes, and my fish were golden. Didn't even have oxygen. No, I did have oxygen that year. But the water was clean. I refreshed all day. One thing I do that helps me is my pumps never shut off all day long. I don't use the timer. It's full bore, just rolling. So when a boat pulls up and I can see it looks like a sewage pond, they didn't do a very good job, or they don't have a lot of water in it. They didn't plug their outtake holes. So that's my only thing is when I hear people say, I guess harder to keep fish alive even in the big live well boats. I'm kind of against that, because that means you're not taking, because why did 60% of the field take good care of their fish? And you've seen it, Tom. I think you've seen the live wells.
Oh,
and even now with Ryan's tester, I don't even have to test the water. I can just look at it and tell you if that fish has been taken care of.
even this past weekend, you could see, some live wells you could see just clear to the bottom of them without a problem, and others you were lucky just to see the back of the fish in there.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not bad. I think again is even there. It's not. We weighed 50. We flew through it. It's just. I mean, my gosh, they're literally taking catfish out of my pool 20 and hauling them to 3 states away and keeping them healthy. So we should be able to take them out of a boat ramp for an hour in a weigh-in line, weigh them, and put them back. You know what I mean? Will we have some die? Absolutely. But I promise you that in the 12 years of doing this, we have gotten much better as anglers. 5 years ago, 10 years ago, it was terrible, terrible, terrible. So I think that's kind of how you got to look at fish care is, number one, are you as an angler doing justice? Are you doing what you should be, or are you not? And we called some people out, didn't we, Tom, this year?
Oh, you did, yeah.
Kind of quietly. 2026, we're going to really be calling you out. You know what I mean? And like what Richard said, you don't need a huge live well. No, you need quality water. Imagine if you had crappy water that you ran all day long. So I mean, I think that's something that we're going to do. You take even some of these channel cat tournaments. I see you guys. I've done it myself. You get on the fish. You got 26 fish in your live well, and then you can't put 20 fish in your live well and expect to have good water. So there's things we're doing on the tournament angler or the tournament side, but we need the anglers to also push. And I think that giving people their numbers, their oxygen numbers, because did you see like in Savannah how many people wanted to know what their number was?
They were coming up to you, making sure they had that number. That was,
yeah.
Speaking of live wells, what did that one live well have in it? That guy held up. I got a picture of it.
Yeah.
Got to find that picture. I mean, it was huge. It looked like a big bone. I'm flipping through images now. Was that the first place team?
I called Lance out. I don't know. I think there was a couple teams that really had some stuff thrown up pretty bad.
Yeah, you had that whole fish that you held up for me. I can't remember if it was before dark or after dark. I didn't zoom in on it. I usually would have done that, but I was done, so I processed pictures and I didn't mess around. As you know, because
I
you
think it
texted
was
me
a
and I was
shad. The
sleeping.
one that I was holding was a shad, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah. How about that picture of Steve Henderson in the van? Does that not look, did you get a laugh out of that one?
Yes. With the hat backward.
Yeah.
Randy, nothing yet. So fish lung, I've got one to put in my next boat. We're gonna definitely do some some things with them to dial in. The only concern I have about fish lung, and I hope I'm wrong, is like I said, they do a lot of the bass stuff, which is smaller live wells. So when they put it in an 80, 100 gallon live well, then what happens? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know what that was. I'm zooming in on I've got no idea.
I'll tell you right now that I guarantee you fresh water is the if you have oxygen and you don't put fresh water in your live well, throw your oxygen in the dumpster on the way home because it's worthless. Harley said he held up a regurgitated blue cat. Yeah, I think I did see that. Did you get a picture of that one?
If I did, I didn't, it wasn't, I think the, what they pulled out of live well wasn't in focus. So that focus hit on the angler's eye.
So if you fished Bama Blues this year and you're on the podcast, comment if you're, are you going to fish it again next year? Yes. Or are you going to say, no, I'm not going to fish it next year? I'm just kind of curious what people think. Oh, and a big, look at that. Happy birthday to Craig Norris. So happy birthday, Craig. Everybody's birthday's in January, Tom.
Yeah, Shauna's is coming up, 25th.
So a couple yeses. Yes, yes.
A lot of yeses.
Chicken leg, yes. Well, Liz is not fishing it next year. So sorry, Liz. Hey, Jason, yes. Plan to fish if I'm home. Tourney days are wrapping up for JR. He's going to the big dog world in the big center console. I don't blame him. That looks like a fun life there. Tom, I'll try to make it. Well, hey, we're gonna try to have a band next year on your birthday. Then like I said, the goal for Bama Blues is to continue to create. We don't want it to be just a tournament. We want it to be an event like this year. You know, continue to promote the captain's meeting and have more fun at it. You know, maybe we have a band, maybe we have some Calcutta, and really have fun at that. You know, maybe next year we take Friday off of pre-fishing, where maybe Friday you can't be on the lake all day, but you can go to Guntersville or Wilson or whatever. But then Friday is just no boats on the water. Lots of ideas. And like I said, we want the criticism because that helps us make a better event for the anglers. I'd love to fish it. We'd love to have you fish it. So yeah, I don't know. And Tom, I don't know what to think about that. That the 5, maybe you do 105 and then boats 101 to 105 is an extra, 1,500, and then that 500 goes to something unique or whatever. It's just, to me, I don't think we need over 100 boats. It's just a lot of work.
It's a lot of logistics, a lot of work. So I think I counted at least 8 extra people there this weekend that we normally don't have.
And yeah, I mean, I think something I think, Chris, we are going to do. Sorry. Liz has her dang Reese's still here. Is I think the captain's meeting. One thing I learned this year. I don't know how many times I told you, Tom. The amount of questions blew my mind. I think this in 2027, the captain's meeting is a little bit different where it's mandatory, but instead of just coming and checking in, you could do that, but then you also have to stay for the rules meeting and sign off. So A, it helps people stay there to support the event, and B, there should be no more questions. I get a lot of calls on crazy. I mean, is there a captain's meeting? Where is the captain's meeting? What time is the captain's meeting? What time does fishing start? I mean, the amount of phone calls and text I got blew me away. So FYI, at first when I heard about parking spots and waiting to launch, thought it was going to be a shit show. I was at the end of the second wave of boats going and thought it went pretty good. Majority of folks were in solid boats and didn't see anyone get swamped or drama. Yeah, I mean, I really believe, I know sometimes people hear my thoughts and they go, that is crazy. It's not going to work. That's stupid. But it worked. It honestly worked better than I thought it was going to work. My concern, JR, is I didn't plan on that many people putting it at Ingalls. That's what scared me. The other thing I was worried about is there was a couple in the first or the second flight that I go up to them and the driver and the boat guy are in the truck still as they're pulling off. Or I go to the next boat and they're out drinking coffee by the boat and not ready to pull out. Besides a few of those minor things, but we never got behind. So that first group, by 6:08, everybody was done. By 6:18, by 6:28. So, I mean, it really, really, really went good. Yes, and again, live well lids open is just something super that usually that's something that my dad does. I think Roy checked some, my dad, Rhett was going around. We just want to get a glance. And again, it's not like we're worried about you having fish in it. Just to kind of confirm that everybody's live well is adequate. Sometimes people have questions. Some people had some different things in their live wells. It's just to kind of, it's just what we do. A lot of different live wells. And Nate, we just want to keep everybody on the up and up. And, but yeah, JR, I think things went really, really good in the morning. And it helps spread people out. So I had a lot of questions. People did not understand how we're doing it. Did you lose fishing time? No. You lost travel time. Now, only one person, and I will call that one person out. One person messed up. One person messed up. Tom, who was it?
Dude, toughest freaking rods, I think. Is that his
No,
company?
no, he didn't mess up. Casey Tudoro.
Oh, Tudoro, that's right. I was thinking,
so,
yeah.
Tudoro was so excited. Like I just seen a red ProCat 200 go through the parking lot in the corner of my eye. And I thought, something doesn't look right. Like I didn't release them. Something didn't look right, but it's fine. Maybe it's just somebody going to fun fish. So we get all the way through, which I think he was in the boat in the 90s. So we get all the way through, and Liz has a card, and she says, everything's good. We just missed one. And I said, who? She goes, Casey Tudor. I said, well, I bet that's the red boat that flew through. So after everybody was gone, I called Casey and I said, hey, are you coming to the tournament? He said, what do you mean? What do you mean? I'm on the water. I said, well, you missed check-in. There's the check-in? Well, and this goes back to making people stay at the captain's meeting because then we don't have those issues. So I could have waited another 20 minutes to call Casey, but I called him, and he had, wherever he was at, he had to drive all the way back to us. So that really hurt him in the long run, because then now everybody had already been gone. He has to drive back to the ramp to get checked in. So other than that, that one boat, everything went super, super well. And like I said, I just went really well. Jason asked, what's the minimum size live well you suggest? So we have a 50-gallon minimum recommendation, but again, with every tournament, it's so different. Do you need a 50-gallon live well for Fort Madison, Iowa? Probably not. Do you need does Chris Wallace need a 50-gallon live well for Bama Blues?
No.
Probably not. But it's something that we still require. But again, our goal is, if you have a 45-gallon live well and you catch a 110, can you fit that in your live well to bring it back safely and healthy? That's why we want to check live wells, make sure everything's adequate. Do you have a pump in and pump out? You know what I mean? You know, one question was, why don't you make oxygen mandatory? Well, how do you make oxygen mandatory? So if Justin Arthur comes to the event and he has oxygen, but on his travel, it leaked out and now his oxygen is gone, then what happened? Chris Walsh, I still love you. Was Marine Police there coincidentally at Blast Off, or were they aware of the tournament and hang out? So great question. So that is one of the guys that I deal with for the ALEA permit. The ALEA permit is the big thing that everybody's been talking about in Alabama. You know, we can't do tournaments because Alex has to put his name on it, and if anything happens, Alex Nagy gets sued or whatever. Yes, my name goes on it. Yes, it is a big deal to get that permit, to get it finalized. I have to talk to the sergeant. He was there. I've always had to get an ALEA permit. It's not like this is the first time that we got an ALEA permit. It is what you have to do. The city makes sure that you have that ALEA permit. There's a lot of things, and I'm glad, JR, you brought that up. You know, just the amount of things from the police ordinance permit for sound, which maybe we shouldn't say that too loud. I promise you, I didn't put that we're doing fireworks, and I don't know. Hopefully, they don't find that out. But there is a big permit that I got to fill out, that with the sound levels, at what time, takeoff, and everything for the city, the police, then the park district that runs Ingalls Harbor, then a city permit, insurance waiver, insurance. I got to have insurance that covers everything. There's a lot of permits, and the ALEA permit is the most. I got to put everything on there, from how many boats, how many anglers, and then when I fill that out 3 months prior, when we get closer, I got to refill it out to confirm that we have 100 boats, 247 anglers, what ramps we're using, what I think who's using what, how many ramps, so they know. They have to know everything you can imagine. So when they know of a big event like that, they will be there. They were going to be at the captain's meeting, but they couldn't. I think they had some other obligations. They'll probably be at the Sea Arc owners, but those are the things you've got to worry about, because that's how you got to get covered. And then make sure we have all safety protocols. We had a couple boats there, 2 boats ready to do whatever. We had a couple boats on the water doing pictures. Tom was on one of the boats. So yeah, I carry 2 tanks just in case. So hopefully that answered your question, JR.
Did the Marine Police, did they check any boats? I didn't see them.
I don't know if anybody got checked out there.
I know when we went out, they kind of turned towards us and followed us for a little bit, but
they were out. I can tell you this, they were out all day long. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, they were not accidentally there. They were there ready to rock and roll. They've been, and I will say, they've been great to work with. They answer any questions. I know I had a lot of anglers. Again, if you're watching and you haven't understood the Alabama law, every state's different. So I'm from Illinois. Where is my? I got a license somewhere. So if you have a boater safety course, of course I don't know where mine's at. Well, I think Liz's is up here. So for example, I took my boater safety course when I was like 14 years old. That means I am good in any state that is required. I'm required to have it in the state of Missouri because I was born after 1984. I'm required to have it in Alabama because you have to have it regardless in Alabama. So in Alabama, I can take, like John Williams, when this came out, John Williams spent 3 hours taking the Alabama course. That's fine, but that doesn't help him when he needs one in Kentucky. So as long as you have your home state, you're good to go.
Is Missouri still just on the lakes? I think the rivers are, you don't have to have one.
Yeah, that I don't know.
I'll
I
have
truly
to-
think that everybody should have one because I've seen some of you drive a vehicle and a boat, and I don't know that you should be allowed to drive either. But
I'm gonna have to put
so
that
yeah,
on my
so
list.
that is it's easy to do. Like I said, I was just fortunate enough that I wanted to drive some jet skis back in the day. So at 14, my parents sent me down to Quincy for a whole weekend of boaters safety course. Yes, it's lakes only as of now. But Alabama, I'm as of right now, I think Alabama is the only state that is everybody. You have to have it to operate a boat in the state of Alabama. You have to have it. Missouri is after, like on Lake of the Ozarks, it's 1984. In Alabama, we do the boaters course in high school. That's good. So here soon, I would say by next year, like Twisted Cat, even with our insurance, will require every team to, the captain of every team to have boater's license. I agree 100%.
Yeah, we all take it for granted when you grow up on the river. From a toddler, and I haven't been on there regularly now, but I certainly need to follow up and do that before I move forward.
Yeah, there's just a lot of things things can happen very fast, in the blink of an eye. Something happened, you hit your head, you go in the water and, not wear a life jacket. Besides the very few times, maybe we're at the sandbar or something, when I'm in a boat and we're moving, most of the time you're going to see me with a jacket on. Yeah, Chad, I think was our last sign up, Chad and Justin.
Yeah, I think Chad spent a lot of time Friday prepping in the parking lot. He was right outside our hotel window.
So what do you think, Tom, next year? Do you think you take Friday off? Is it no pre-fishing, no bait in the water? Or do you take Friday completely nobody on the water? So if they want to go on the water, they go on, they got to go to Wilson or Gunnersville.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. I like hearing Crawford say that, he probably comes in on Friday. Well, yeah, because someone could come in on Friday and send somebody else to the meeting on Thursday. That's the
But
tough
then again,
part
for that type of event, you're really putting, if you're going to pay $1,000 and show up on Friday,
right. Well,
who's really on here? I guess who's on here that really showed up on Friday? Somebody had to be there Thursday. I kind of thinking, my thoughts.
I say we take it off.
No boats on the water Friday, period.
Yeah, go to the other lakes.
Mitchell, stop. Just stop. Just stop.
I mean, we could start the Sunday before and cut 10 boats every day.
Yeah. Anything about jet skis? So, what's people think about we taking Friday next year, Bama Blues, Friday completely? Obviously, Friday could be tournament day, but Thursday at 5 o'clock, boats off the water until Saturday morning. Just tune in. What's the point in not fishing on Friday? Just it gets more people off. I think one thing I have seen, yeah. So Jody, one thing I have seen, or that I've heard, not that I've done, so don't say I've done this. This would be just Bama Blues is a completely different animal than the other events. I mean, a lot of people show up Friday. You know what I mean? So let's say that Doug Vaughn is down there and he's got a spot that he's fishing, and I'm down there, and let's just say that I'm fishing. Let's say that I'm fishing a shallow or a ledge by Decatur, whatever, and it's really hot, and I'm on him Friday, and I'm on him on Thursday, and I know that's where I'm going to be. Well, Alex, man, I've got my spot. They've been there Tuesday, they've been there Wednesday, Thursday. I do a quick run. They're there. I'm not even going to. Friday. I'm good, but Friday, you know what I'm going to do? I want to take a buddy out. Me and Tom are going to go out, and we are going to rock some world on this spot right here. So we just absolutely knock them dead Friday in a spot that I'm not going to fish, because I already know where I'm going to fish. I got plenty of bait, but I don't want to just hang out. So I'm going to just knock them dead right out here outside of Decatur, out of the boat ramp. That's kind of what that stops. And I have seen that. Now, Josh, can you get fresh bait on Wilson or Gunnersville, or do you need to be on Wheeler? This is questions that I want to know. So Jody, kind of give me your thoughts on that. I mean, again, this is just something I'm just throwing around. I mean, a lot of people want to, yeah, but I'm just saying nuke plant, let's just say though that the elk is on or something, and I just go out there and fun fish. I mean, I didn't go out Friday. I could have went out Friday and fished myself, but I don't feel like that's right, me going out there and sore lip and fish. You know what I mean? So kind of give me some feedback in the comments if do you do more? I'm sure anywhere, but bait was thick on Wheeler from the elk down on big gizzards. So Josh, here's a good question. What about, can you get bait in the morning? Now, granted, if you're a 6:30 or a 6:30 takeoff, that changes things. But if you really want to get bait, can you put in at 6:30, get your bait before you get to your spot, or what's your thoughts there?
The bait on that lake was crazy while we were out taking pictures. It was unreal.
So Joseph said, seems kind of pointless to limit pre-fishing when we're fishing against numerous guides or locals on every body of water we go to. So let's talk about that. So guides on that lake.
Who are they and where did they finish?
Mike Mitchell finished 32nd place and has guided on that lake since he was 9 years old. So do you feel that it was that you had an unfair advantage against Mike Mitchell? So Joseph Crawford got
He got
7th
checked.
place against Mike Mitchell. They got 32nd. Bill and Cindy White, locals, got 33rd place. Justin Freaky only catches 100-pound fish, 36th place. Jason Hamilton, guide, 40th place. Jeff Helm, local, 44th place. Randy Welcher, local, 47th place. Terry Haraway, local, 53rd place. J.R. Hall probably threw 100 pounds back. No, J.R. Hall didn't. So I'm not a big fan of that statement when you're fishing against guides or locals. Whatever reason, being a local usually doesn't help. And you look at the top again. I mean, Joseph, 7th place from Northern Illinois. Eddie Henney, 6th place, Kansas. So I'm not a big fan of that statement, in my opinion. I didn't guide on Wheeler that week. I had 40 pounds. People eating some crow, oh yeah. Sakoti isn't a local anymore. So that's kind of my thoughts when people say, you know, guides and locals. But then with Jody, I completely understand what he's saying. You know, I'm not sure. I just feel like if I'm spending $1,000 and I can't find fish, I'm struggling Thursday. I sure would like Friday to help me find fish. So that kind of goes, you know, do you, at $1,000 entry, do you take it to that next level? Because one thing we did with Twisted Cat in a couple of our championships, well, we went really crazy, to be honest. We took the whole week off. So we did a tournament in Cape, a tournament in Crystal City, where there was you couldn't be on the body of water from Monday to Thursday. Friday, you could be on the water with no baits in the water. That was wild. People did love that. So Jody would need to be Friday. So maybe we could do like a pink slip for Jody Bevan so he could find fish on Friday. It doesn't messily help, but I do all this out of my own pocket. No sponsor for me not to be able to pre-fish isn't very appealing. So when did you come down this week, Crawford? Yeah, we could just do no baits in the water. Well, that goes against what we're trying to do. So Jody, would you be cool with this? No hooks in the water. You can only scan, take all rods out of the boat. Obviously, that have to be the lie detector. And JR, this brings up a good point. We gotta, hopefully I want to catch somebody, doing something. I got to figure out what is the penalty. Let's say that I catch somebody Friday fishing. Do you ban them for 12 months? Ban them for life? We quit pre-fishing the day before. We always end up catching the big fish the day before. That's true.
We see it more often than not. A lot of fish caught on Thursday and Friday, big fish.
Do away with fish finders in tournaments, period. Go back to the way Grandpa did it. Hey, Andrew Justice is another one. So you do a tournament and you say no fish finders and count me in. $100 per boat on Friday. I think again, I mean, I'm not against that, but it puts fishing back into play. Well, Crawford, then you got to step up your game, but whatever you did, you got 7th place. That ain't too bad.
Have to go back a few tournaments. I think Mr. Crawford did. He's been cashing a lot lately.
You've been on fire, man.
Yeah. I mentioned that to him on stage after the pictures.
Jody, we appreciate that. I think guys is another separate topic from what I've heard as a director and a competitive angler. Yeah, I've got no problem. I mean, I like fishing against guides, to be honest. I mean, for the most part, it ain't like they win every time, for sure. I like it. Cold water plunge.
Did anybody take part in that on Friday? Or was that? Yeah,
I
that was
don't know.
Friday, wasn't it? I saw a video on the tourism page. They jumped off the dock and then walked up the ramp.
JR, that might eliminate half the field. I don't know that they can catch their own bait. Guides don't make the fish bite. Just ask Mike Mitchell. Cold water plunge, though, I think that's something we got to look into. We did no pre-fishing. Kevin was on the water the previous week for a tournament, and before that was probably a couple months that Kevin was on the water on Wheeler. Yeah, I mean, it's tough. I mean, I've caught some really big fish. Some of my biggest fish have been at the Sea Arc tournament the couple days prior. I mean, I fish hard Friday just because, you know, I'm down there for the whole week, but exactly. The whole point is who is the best on that body of water that given day. I have ice water in my veins. Hey, I'm telling you, I really want to see. I'd like to see Mike. What if we do this? Maybe I had a guide in the tournament, but he sucked it up. We draw a random person out of the tournament, and they got to do a cold water plunge. Would you do the cold water plunge next year, Tom?
Yeah, I'd be willing to, because it's going to be New Year's Eve. We can do it New Year's Eve at midnight.
I mean, what was the water temp?
48. I might have been guilty of doing it a time or two off my parents' houseboat on New Year's Eve. And the water was probably colder than 48 degrees up here.
Maybe we could do it for a cause or something.
Donate to the youth prize fund.
Maybe $10 and it go to like St. Jude, just something cool. We can make it something kind of fun. That'd be kind of cool. And then we could do whoever has the best plunge, whoever jumps in the best, like a belly flop or something.
Oh, I don't know about the belly flop.
I can see Mitchell and J.R. Hall will for sure be in.
Oh, come on, Bud.
We try to collect a small group. Whoever finished last in our group, we like. That's actually pretty cool. We could do some little side bets, and then they got to do it after the weigh-in or something. That'd be kind of cool. So yeah, so we'll confirm the date, January 2nd. You know, maybe next year, you know, we just have a few changes. Maybe one of them is that Friday is just no pre-fishing. So you can be on the water scanning, but just no baits in the water. I think everything else worked out really well. You know, I want feedback. If there's something that you guys seen that we could do better, do different. You know, I like the wheeler only. There's a reason for that, a lot of reasons. You know, maybe that there's, you know, in 27 we can do something in the fall in Guntersville, and you know, I don't know. There's things that we can do. We just want to keep it growing, keep it fun. And my goal for next year is to get Tom and at least Mike Mitchell to do the plunge. I'll do the plunge with you. How about that?
I'm all in.
Hey,
I'll be there.
keep wishing, JR, you might see it.
That'd be 3 trips down to that area in a year.
Parking in groups. I like the way y'all did the parking in groups. Wasn't a cluster. Yeah, I think parking went really, really good. Like I said, there was only, when we got to the last 25, 75 through 100, those people, I mean, most of them were in zero hurry at all. Zero hurry at all. Besides around like 38 to 42, that was about the only mix up. But again, it was easy because, you know, we went from 38 and then to 41 and kind of went back. It was super, super easy. Yes, more vendors. We will have some sweet Bama Blue merch next year. We'll have a lot of stuff next year. When the guides wax everyone 2 years prior, Guntersville option. That's pretty hard to get to. Yeah, I don't know. I'd like to have something in Guntersville. I'm working on that. You just got to give me some time. Somebody said earlier, slow wins the race? Who said that?
I think that was Chad, wasn't it? Which direction is Guntersville? Is that upriver or downriver?
Upriver.
Upriver? Okay.
So to give you an idea, Guntersville is where I fell out of Steve Douglas's boat when I put a fish back in the water.
You leaving, AJ? AJ's going to work.
Going to work. Yeah, we'll definitely have some Bama Blue merch next year. Yeah, Vano, I am not getting. I promise you this: if I fell in the water in Louisiana, I wouldn't even get wet. That's how fast I'd be out of the water. Would you get in the water in Morgan City, Tom?
Well, I didn't see any gators. So that makes me say yes. But as soon as I would see one, I'd be out.
No way.
Of course, people.
JR, you've been down there enough. Would you swim around in the water down there in Venice in the summer?
People think I'm nuts that I'll say I'll go into Mississippi anytime. So
I'm telling you, I went down. We went down. Liz and I went to Morgan City and after Vicksburg, end of July, and all we caught were sharks. And every time we caught a shark, we had an alligator follow it to the boat.
Yeah, once I'd see that, I'd be done.
I'm out. So JR, you didn't answer my question. Would you swim in the water down there? JT asks, I agree. I have no clue if that's a joke that those people build those, but there are slides and diving boards on docks in Morgan City. Absolutely not.
If there's diving boards, it's got to be safe.
Yeah, I don't care. I seen somebody in Venice that they were swimming in that little Venice marina in the summer, and I thought, I mean, all those cleaning stations, you can't tell me that there's not sharks and gators and stuff in there. In the back, I'm telling you, if I fell in the water, I'd fall and hit an alligator in the head. It's just my luck. Sharks, gators, and bacteria. Yeah, that's so when Liz and I went to Morgan City the weekend, or a couple days after Vicksburg, end of July. We did a live from there. The water temp in Lake Paylord was 94 degrees. I mean, there's just nothing that sounds appetizing. 94-degree water, the shark, I just no. Yeah, not happening. Oh gosh. Yes, overall, Bama Blues was awesome. Our next event again, January 31st, Garland, Texas, Lake Ray Hubbard. Make sure you get registered. Boat numbers matter. February 20th and 21st, Friday, Saturday, the Twisted Cat Outdoors Fishing Expo in Memphis, Tennessee. Follow the page. There's a lot coming out with that. We'll have the host hotel information this week and the map. March, we've got the Sea Arc Owners Crappie Invitational at Lake Darbone. And then March 28th, we have the Alton Catfish Classic. And I think I said we're at 54 boats. And then we're just, like I said, we're working on May. I got to call Mike and get his blessing to do May 9th, maybe. We're working on it.
So all you Texas people, start promoting the tournament down there for us. Let's see if we can get those numbers up.
We had 45 boats our first year. That was a really good tournament first year. So boat numbers matter. So imagine how we did Bama Blues will be very similar to how we're going to do Ray Hubbard. So obviously we'll have boats 1 through 25, boat 1, 2, 3, and then you can leave that parking lot, go to any public ramp to put in, and then they'll wait 10 minutes. It'll take us, when we don't have to put any boats in the water right there where we do takeoff, it'll take about 3 minutes, 4 minutes to get everybody, that first group out, and they'll wait 6 minutes to release the next 25.
Yeah, everybody will be gone in 20 minutes down there.
Yeah.
Well, 30 if you wait.
That's an awesome weigh-in too at that Bass Pro parking lot. You get all the restaurants, the Holiday Inn. The Holiday Inn is the host hotel. They've got parking. But yeah, I mean, it was a really, really good event.
I thought there was a decent amount of spectators down there. There
was a lot. Even the mayor, I think, came actually, didn't he? Or one of the councilmen?
I know there was someone from the city there. I think what was cool is seeing people from just going to Bass Pro to shop coming over and checking it out for the first time.
Yep. So yeah, the goal is to get these events out as quick as possible. And yeah, like I said, it's going to be a good year. We're super excited. It's just we wish we could get things out faster. It's just trying to get Savannah, New Matter to kind of get some of them dates dialed in, and then we're going to rock and roll. But August 29th, again, Perryville, Missouri. Tom, how do you kind of describe Perryville? I mean, we used to go to Cape. Cape was a great event. We never could get the spectators down at the boat ramp. So now in Perryville, which Perryville is literally just 30 miles upriver, beautiful town. What's your thoughts of that tournament?
I love the town, the small town down there, and it's literally a town square. So they've got, I don't know if it's a courthouse in the middle or their city hall. And with us set up there, there's restaurants nearby. You can actually, there's a few Airbnbs where you could literally not drive all weekend if you stayed there. But yeah, the crowd shows up. Good food, a lot of good people. And I don't know if they're going to do a car show this year or not, but that's
they're doing a semi show 2 weekends before, but they're just kind of that car show. It kind of took up a lot of space, so we're just going to do the Twisted Cat event. We'll have the captain's meeting, at that same place. That was super fun. Boat numbers will matter there too. Registration will matter there too. So, but August 29th, Perryville, Missouri, we'll get that date out. We'll start to open up registration as quick as we can on each event. Like I said, boat numbers will matter.
And I
We'll
believe,
look at the rules, all that stuff.
Adam, I believe there are receptacles behind the hotel, off
Yes,
the
there
Bass
is.
Pro parking lot.
Let me pull up. I'll show you how cool that is. I started using Google Earth, Tom. I don't know if that's the best one, but my maps that I did for the Bama Blues.
They turned out really nice. I
I use that.
I was
that.
looking at them. Like I said, I got up at 4. I was in the parking lot by 4:15 or 4:20, and I started looking to see where certain people were going to be at because I missed some of the anglers at the meeting, saying hi to them and everything, and found Mr. Joe Lunsford. He was like, "I'm still sick. Stay away." So
Yeah, I feel so bad for Joe being sick.
he was in bad shape.
He is. So here is Lake Ray Hubbard, Garland, Texas. So if you're looking at, there's Fort Worth, Dallas. Oh gosh, there's downtown Dallas. It's just right up. Oh, I've lost it.
There's a lot of lakes around there.
There's a lot of lakes. Let me try that again. Okay. There it is. Boom. Okay. So there's the lake right there. Nice big lake. So right here is where everything goes. Bass Pro Shops. They have an awesome little setup, especially when you look out their window there to the dock. I'm not sure these docks are still here, are they? Doesn't it show like what year this was?
Bottom right, it might have the year. I don't recall seeing them last year.
So here's how we did it. This is what makes this tournament pretty cool. So right here is Holiday Inn, Host Hotel. Here, they built this lot for boats. So all this is this is a gate to get in, and then you can park in here to charge your boat. You can also park back here. There's people charging their boat. But let's say that you come to fish this tournament, you stay at the Holiday Inn, which you don't have to stay at the Holiday Inn. It's just what we recommend, the Host Hotel. Then you've got 3 restaurants. There might be 4 here now. How do I look at the?
Yeah. I know there's Hooters. There's a Mexican restaurant, and there was like the other one have pizza.
Yeah, there was a way to look at like the date. Oh, right here. Oh yeah, okay. Here's a better view. Okay, this is right. This was taken November 13th, 2025. So you've got, here is, I think, Hooters, a big pizza place, a Mexican restaurant, and then like what do you call those, like buffets where they bring you, Brazilian Steakhouse. All right here. How cool is that? So you can literally stay at the Holiday Inn. Here's your parking. Walk to these restaurants. Here's Bass Pro. We're going to do the weigh-in. If you can see my mouse, this is where the weigh-in is, right in this area. So we'll come here in the morning. I might have, boats 1 through 25 over here in this lot, 26 through 50 over here, and then that's how we'll take off. And you just got to be back at a certain time. One of the ramps will be, here's one of the ramps right here just across the road. Another ramp that we used was this marina. I can't remember the name of it offhand, but you can use any public launch on the lake. You just got to be back to this Bass Pro parking lot. And we had a ton of spectators. You're right. We had a ton of spectators. So it was a really, really good event. Parking is yes, we don't have security, but there's a lot of security going on in this whole area. I mean, you got boats out at Bass Pro. We've had no issues. We leave the trailer down there. To be honest, it's set up for tournaments. I mean, it's really set up for tournaments. Now we still bring in Corey Miller to haul fish. just to make sure the weigh-in goes smooth, because it's just really no good way for us to get the fish back. We can kind of utilize this. It just makes it tough right here. I know Central Texas did some stuff that we're going to chat with them about, but this is a cool tournament. If you've not been to Texas, if you've not fished an event on Texas, this is a pretty cool area. It is a pretty big lake too. Lake Ray Hubbard. And like I said, everything's right out. Then the Holiday Inn is cheap too. It's a really nice holiday. Oh, look at that. What did I do there? Oh, I went into 3D.
3D
That's
mode.
weird.
Yeah. See, you don't even need your drone.
Yeah. So that's a little bit of what that looks like. And yes, there is receptacles to charge boats. We can ever consider what we're at in Georgia, Walter. We're at in Georgia. Where at in Georgia? Tom, me and you got to do some fishing. Where are we going to go? I really want to go to Pool 19 and fish in Channel Cats.
See, you're saying Channel Cats. I'm still trying to up my personal best, you know.
What's your personal
Like,
best?
I think 26.
Oh,
mean, that's
gosh,
what-
let's go to
yes.
that.
I mean,
All right.
and that
Yeah,
was done
primo.
twice.
Awesome. Well, we're going to go smash that here. We got to do that soon, Tom. Do you remember the weights last year in Texas?
No, I don't. Not at all.
Okay. How do you find that out, Tom? Let's see if you know.
Do you go to twistedcatoutdoors.com?
Okay.
Go to
Then
the
what?
Tournaments 2025. Lake Ray Hubbard. If Alex
Can't
hasn't
be
messed
that
the link up, if Alex hasn't messed the links up yet, you're good.
It can't be that easy, can it? That easy right there. There it is. Wow, I didn't realize Craig had 102, 102.66. 45 teams, 112 anglers. Total weight 2,125 pounds. That's actually a lot better weights than I thought. I don't know why I was thinking it was in like the 40s to win or to be even placing, but no. Top 10 at 67.29.
That's a good weigh in then.
That's a good weigh-in right there.
Yeah.
Let's see what some of them locals did. Brian and Coy, Monty Bond, 20th place. Cutter, 25th. Brian, 36. JT, Coy. Craig Norris won the tournament. Never been on that lake. Never been on that lake. Did you hear me, Tom?
Oh, yeah.
Never been on that lake and won the tournament.
I'm looking at the results there on the TV as you're showing them.
Pretty good. Like I said, I mean, 102, 79, 78, 76, 73, 72, 71. So good weigh-in. A lot of fish caught. Now that's a 5 fish. That's 2 over 3 under there.
Okay.
I can't remember. Somebody help me with the Texas laws. Too many of these states are so different. Texas is maybe 30 or something. Help me, Cole. I know you. Cole knows it. And Jerry. Come on, Jerry. Two over 30 and 3 under. Okay. 2 over 30 and 3 under.
And that is that going to be for flatheads this year also? I don't know if that was the case last year.
Yeah, so we just keep it. So for example, hopefully people realize this, but at Bama Blues, it's a 3 fish limit 2 over, 1 under. Doesn't matter if it's a blue, channel, flathead. It's 2 over, 1 under. This tournament down there is 2 over, 3 under. Doesn't matter species. We just keep it simple. 2 over, 3 under. So Rupert, hopefully that answered your question. 2 over, 3 under. Very impressive. Chad, are you going to see us in Texas?
And no live scope, right?
And no live scope. So live scope was another change. So some of the quick changes, I guess, to, you know, if you're following Twisted Cat this year, that you followed it for so long. Not that no live scope is not a big change. It is for some people maybe, but you can't use live scope day of tournament. Number one. Number two, there's 0 registrations Saturday mornings. There's no more registrations on Saturday mornings. Registrations stop. We will take cash Friday night, and you can register online. But at 9 o'clock Central, we take registration out, and that's it. We're done. Texas is lake specific, a lot of waterways with catfish. Yep.
There's entry 17 with Chad.
Sign 20 or double or nothing. Yeah. No, you'll get your signed 20, and then I'll do another signed 20. Adam. All right. So Cole. So yeah, so we're excited for Texas. Get signed up. It's going to be a fun event. There's a lot of stuff to do down there. Bring your families. We'll have a really good weigh-in. Make sure you go back and look at the pictures. You know, go to Twisted Cat Outdoors on Facebook. Look at the pictures. Look at the albums. You know, that's a really fun event. Wasn't it, Tom?
It was better than I thought it was. Now that you pulled up the weights again, I just didn't remember the weights being that big.
Yeah.
But yeah, I enjoyed the area.
I'll pull it up right now. It was really, yeah, it's really good. Yeah, so check out a few of these pictures. I just want to show you guys. I mean, it was a good weigh-in. Fun event.
And you know I enjoy not having to drive anywhere.
Yeah, so there was the night before, you had the Hooters and Mexican restaurant set up, doing some gift certificates and stuff. It was a really good setup. Yeah, a lot of people come out and hang out. There's a little Cutter over there. Top Dog. And then there's a win. Yes. Really good fish. That's first place fish right there.
Yeah.
Lakeview was there. And the hot seats, Smooth Move hot seats. So yeah, really, it was a really good weigh-in. Yeah, here they had the Hooters people brought over some chicken wings, and they were hot when they brought them over.
They were hot.
I remember
yes.
I burnt my mouth.
My tongue was sore for a week.
Yeah. Some more good fish. I mean, that's some good fish right there. There was a lot of good fish. There's Liz and I with a photo op. Look at the beard I had going, Tom.
Is that part of the... What did you do last year or the year before?
I don't know why I'm growing a beard like that, but
was that you recovering from the mustache?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I'll tell you what. Now I'm looking at it, there's a lot of good fish.
That team's jerseys, I love them. That was...
Yeah, that's some awesome jerseys. So yeah, here's with this event, everybody gets a stick, and then you just turn your stick in when you get back, just to make sure everybody's good. Or my dad will collect them in the weigh-in line. We ain't seen Big Cat Blair in a while. We're hoping he's okay. He's been MIA.
I think he's scared.
Yeah, MIA. Is Coy making a sad face? Isn't
Does
his
he ever
bottom lip
smile?
out? I don't know. Yeah, a lot. Man, I'll tell you what, there are some good fish. I'm excited to get back down there. Some really good fish. Billy soon, coming out soon. Keep an eye on the Facebook page. Make sure you follow everything, all the new posts. They're going to come out. They're going to come out with a vengeance, Tom. They're going to smack you right in the face. Blair only does channel cat tournaments.
I don't pester Alex for the schedule, but he knows I'm waiting on it too. So
Trust me, I'm waiting on it.
Yeah.
I want it to be done so bad.
get my time put in at work, make sure I get those weekends off.
Yeah. Yeah, make sure you're February 20th and 21st in Memphis is going to be an awesome show. Really excited about that. Right after Garland. So we got a lot coming up. It's going to be a super fun year. Hope everybody joins us. And if you haven't fished Twisted Cat or been a part of it, give us a shot. Come hang out. Even if you don't want to fish it, just come hang out, watch the weigh-in, help out. Like I said, we got a good crew. It's been a lot of fun over the years, and it just continues to grow. And, we're always looking for those new places. I know that, where did he say? Walter said Clarks Hill, Sinclair, or Oconee or something like that. But, yeah, we're looking. Now that I have more time, I need to fish Louisiana events. You got plenty of time.
Jeremy needs to come up to Alton.
You need to come to Alton, man. That's a good fishery. Lake Texoma, that's definitely on the list.
I see so many people mention that lake. I'm interested to go see it now.
Yeah, we're working on it. Like I said, by 2027, you're going to see some pretty unique things with Twisted Cat. Can't talk a lot about it yet, but if you're following things now in 26 and you really follow along, you're going to see a lot of some big things coming. The fireworks were pretty big, right?
They were huge. They were
huge.
Big
deal. They were what?
They were huge. Them fireworks.
Huge. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, Fudd.
No.
Fudd must be done pouting. He came back.
Oh, I didn't. Fudd, I love you. And yeah, hopefully we can do some 1v1s. Maybe we can get Mike back out there, Mike against Jackson or something. We just want to do some fun things like that too throughout the year. We'll have hopefully a little bit more time to do that and be able to travel some to get that done. But we want to do some fun events and if there's some time like on a weekend that I'm home and I can find 4 boats just to go out and I've done that with some other tournaments and that was pretty fun. It's just I got to get some people with some excitement to be a part of that and kind of maybe me and Tom can MC those events, while they're out there, those 4 boats fishing against each other. That'd be fun, wouldn't it?
That would be like really interesting to put 4 boats out, put us in a boat and go around and where we could have them on live also, but we could also be streaming
We could
live.
run the whole,
Yeah. And show them from outside their boat.
Yeah, that would be cool. So, and then people that have Starlink, obviously Starlink right now is still the #1 deal. So plane tickets to New Orleans is cheap. Yeah, so I think a plane ticket, we had to get some for November. Now, granted, that was one way. I don't know if that's cheap or not. It was I think it was $320 for Liz to fly down.
I think when I looked for round trip, it was going to be about $450 each, or for round trip to St. Louis.
Yeah, I mean it's not bad of a drive. You know what I mean? The drive, yeah, I don't know, the drive is rough. I mean, you got to be. I think that I've got a since I got a CDL background of driving for 14 years. Like the drive doesn't bother me. I can get a bunch of work done, be on the phone, get some stuff rolling. But yeah, no three. I mean, yeah, I don't know what's cheap, but yeah, 320 was a little pricey, but you get down there quick.
Yeah. Well, like you, I mean, you got to drive 2.5 hours to St. Louis to get to an airport. I'm 30 minutes from the airport here, so that saves a little time.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for me, JR, is for me to fly down there, I got to drive almost close to 3 hours to St. Louis is really my closest. Well, yeah. Yeah. Now
Is
New
it the
Orleans ain't bad.
bridge?
When you go from New Orleans to Venice, then yes, you better have your stuff together. And if I see a lot of these trailers at these tournaments, I love it when I always hear this, man, them trailers are junk. And then I go up to the wheels, and it looks like somebody took a side grinder and grinded around the entire wheel.
They were just
Actually, I
cleaning the
think
curb off.
Ishkar's trailer as well. I seen his at Vicksburg the first year I was down there. It got curbed so hard that I felt it in my chest with the boat on the trailer. How it didn't blow the tire or bend the axle, I don't know. Maybe it did. Spirit is it Spirit or Sprint? Spirit is a 50-50 chance you're flying them. Yeah, if I lived in Chicago, that's a different animal. You can probably fly down there for nothing. Is Spirit fly out of St. Louis?
They don't fly out. They might, if they don't fly out of St. Louis, they might fly out of across the river. I think in Belleville, Illinois, or something.
Yeah. What I've learned, Tom, and you tell me what you think. After all the traveling I've done, driving a truck, and I don't know that any state has good roads. Some might have better than others, but I'll tell you what, there's
I
just not a lot of good roads.
I will tell you the roads in Tennessee, or I'm sorry, yeah, Tennessee and Mississippi that I was on this past weekend were horrible. You couldn't drive in the right lane. It was so rough.
I would almost say that Missouri has some of the best roads.
I I hear a lot of people complaining about Missouri, but when we as we're traveling, I'm finding out they're better, pretty good shape here. What is the highway that we took over to St. Joe? 36?
Yeah.
Yeah, which you said that was a little. No, you went across to Iowa, didn't you? To get
No, I went across. I went to 36 also.
36. Yeah, that was smooth for us. But yeah,
Yeah, I'd
that
say
short,
Missouri, with all my traveling, Missouri is going to win for the best roads.
and we got a lot of construction going on. They're adding a third lane all the way across the state on Highway 70. So from Wentzville all the way to Kansas City, they're adding another lane each direction.
Yeah, Richard said Tennessee roads are brutal.
I Yeah, Arkansas was rough
Mississippi,
too.
yeah, Arkansas is rough. I would say Missouri. If I don't know what people think on that, Missouri has got probably the best roads. I mean, and I traveled a lot. Um, yeah, Sean says, for what we pay in taxes and the fact that our vehicles have to be safety inspected, but our roads beat the crap out of them daily is ridiculous. I don't know if you're talking about Missouri, Sean, but I promise you, you guys got some good roads.
Yeah, at least
I mean,
the highways.
thinking about it,
States.
yeah, I mean, I've done a lot of 2-lane driving in Missouri. I mean, it is pretty impressive, to be honest. Yeah, I agree with Wallace. They're making them purposely bad just to have them work again.
Yeah, 36. There's nobody on it. It's a great way to get across the state and avoid 70.
I guess Liz isn't going to join us again. I think she said
Yeah,
pizza's about ready.
Well, no, I've been on some roads in North Dakota storm chasing before, Jeff.
What's North Dakota like?
I think it's worse than the Tennessee and Mississippi. A lot of they use the oil and gravel, the fine pea gravel up there. Last time I was in North Dakota, I think it was around 2015, storm chasing, and I stopped and got gas, and they actually put my credit card in a slider. They didn't have electronic readers for the credit card.
LA 90 from Lafayette to Morgan City. I feel like that's a pretty good road.
I don't think we went up to Did you all go up to Lafayette? We didn't go that way.
No, I have been that way. I know what you're talking about, Jeremy. Ask Liz about that. We were pulling a boat last year, the year before, from Lafayette to Morgan City, and we had to pull over to make sure the boat, didn't fall off the trailer. Like they had patched it, and it was just like, it was terrible. Terrible. That's the worst road I've ever been on in my life. LA 90 from Lafayette to Morgan City is hands down a disaster. A disaster. I'll never take that again.
Chris has been listening to my conversation about the Twisted Cat cargo plane. Load the truck and trailer and all of our cars on it. And
one of these days, I'm just going to show up and MC. Probably not in my lifetime. Yeah. What do you think of that Pontchartrain, that I-10?
It didn't bother me on it, but there was a school bus that must have had some bad shocks on it, and the video didn't save on my car. But this bus was just bouncing horrible when we came across there.
Yeah, that is a cool. I've been on it when it's real foggy. Actually, coming home from the championship, it was foggy that next day that we drove home, or that night, or whatever that was. Oh, that was just recently when Liz and I went down there for Christmas when we left. It was really foggy. That was pretty wild. We don't even see the water, but it's cool. If you've not been to Louisiana, we've done the Venice, we've done the Norco, we've done the Morgan City. It's just so cool to be down there. The people, the food. Drive just like JR, driving that across I-10 is so, until you do it, it's interesting. The I-10 on the, I wonder if I-10 is how you go to Morgan City, but I don't know. Yeah. Hey, maybe our kids will be able to fly to where they want to go.
Maybe the boats will fly.
Hey, listen, out of all of you complaining, I live the furthest away, so I have to drive like 14 hours to get down there. I gotta leave. I gotta drive an hour in Illinois, or an hour and a half in Illinois, just to get into Missouri.
Yeah, I don't know where the best spot is to live for the tournament trail, and I know the trail changes every year, but I feel like we're kind of in the middle of it all here, just west of St. Louis.
Yeah, I think St. Louis is like that's like the mecca where to live for. You can you're close to everything. You can go west, north. You just got a lot of interstates that you can really get to places quick. That and Memphis. Exactly, Joe. There's nothing in between that. All right, almost in 2.5 hours, Tom. It feels like we just got on here.
I need to get to bed. I got to get up at 4:30.
Yeah, Gary, I'll get with you this week with all the vendor info and get that dialed in. And make sure you follow the Twisted Cat Outdoors Fishing Expo Facebook page. And send us some messages on Facebook. Comment on this post if there's a place you're dying to see Twisted Cat, or if there's some things you want to see. If you have some suggestions, we listen. So shoot us a message, shoot us a text. Tom's, let Tom know if there's something you see, or again, we just want to keep growing everything, and we appreciate everybody that watches our podcast, goes to our events, sponsors, and everything, and let's keep growing this thing. Thanks for watching. We will see you next Monday night. We're not sure who we're having on, but we'll be back on next Monday night. And keep up to date on the Facebook page as we keep pushing and get these events out to have an awesome 2026. Anything you got left to say, Tom? Leave them with some good advice, Tom. Drop them with something.
Good advice. Always have chicken on the boat.
That's
Always
good
take
advice.
chicken.
Listen, Kirk Lucky would agree 100%. Always take chicken.
I'm going to go off here on a sidetrack, but how do you like that picture of him from the tournament with his dog?
It's a great picture.
Yeah, I saw that one and I was like, I gotta capture that moment. So
No, that
all
was
right.
a great picture.
No.
Yeah, the pictures were
We'll s-
awesome. Like I said, it was an awesome event, and thank you.
Yeah.
We'll see everybody later
See everybody in Texas.
in Texas and Garland. All right. Peace. We're out. See
Out.
y'all.